Kickflips, the easy way. Before we get into it, let's just cover the foot position really quickly so we can get started off on the right foot. I want you to put your front foot on the board below the front bolts. There's this sweet spot of the skateboard between the center of the board and the front four bolts. For most tricks, it's safe to learn them from within this range. Avoid sliding your front foot too far off the board on the heel side. This actually won't help it flip. Your back foot will sit on the tail towards the toe side. I find it more comfortable with my back foot a little lower on the tail, closer to the pocket, as opposed to being all the way back. But this is just a personal touch for me. Your foot position can land anywhere within this zone to properly do a kickflip. To properly do a kickflip, both of your feet have to work together through the takeoff. It's easy to think that you just set up your feet and that feels like the board will flip. And then you just kick your front foot super hard and voila, you do a kickflip. But really, we want to set our feet up where they work together so that the board flips really easy. Your front foot is not rolling over sideways and then snapping through the board to flip it sideways at all. When you're first trying kickflips, you run into this issue where you're kickstarting your front foot, meaning your front foot is going straight at the ground. It's likely that you're thinking of it as a sideways motion and not as a forward flick. To think about it as a forward flick, we can take our stance and open up our front hip a little bit towards the direction we're going. That will help us face our target. The second thing you can do is pick a spot on the nose that you want to flick through and try to put your big toe there and just kick through it. The reason I like thinking about this as your big toe doing the flicking motion is that it helps create a very natural flick, almost like you're kicking a soccer ball. And as you finish, it will help the board rise into the air into a good position to catch the board. And land, if you're flicking with your pinky toe, or flicking sideways, there are a lot of ways you can end up with your front foot below the board, making it impossible to land. If you'd like to see a visual for this motion, you can do a tail stand and roll the side of your foot down. Instead of doing this, we're going to plant our shoe on the board and flick it up through the nose into the air. This already has a lot more power compared to this awkward sideways motion. It's going to put a lot of strain on your hip. Now that you have the basic flicking motion, pair it properly with the board so that it can roll over. When you first start trying kickflips, it's common to focus on flipping the board all the way. This isn't important at all. I don't really care. Instead, what I want you to do is jump and lift the nose, and while the board is floating light, I want you to flick and barely roll the board over. By focusing on flicking softly with good timing, you will start to feel what the natural kickflip motion is like. I'm going to show you one more time and walk you through it. I'm jumping, and then the nose is in the air and there's no pressure on the ground. I'm just doing that sweeping motion with the front foot through the nose and up into the air. We're almost ready to move to the next phase. But first I want you to understand a very simple thing. The value of the hippie jump is that your feet remain above the skateboard the whole time. By jumping and flipping, you know what it's like to have the board rotating underneath you. This is the thing that most beginners just never experience, and honestly, it can plague them for years. I'd rather do half flips floating above the board than just flipping the board all the way, so that it's above your foot. There are two more ways to speed up the flip instead of just flicking harder. First one is to pick up your front foot more, lifting it to the inside and a little bit higher before you're flicking. This motion will bring the nose up into the air, giving it more time to flip. If you brush just right through the nose while the wheels are still on the ground, it's not going to flip very much. But if you're at the same speed and do more of an ollie first, your board will have more time to flip in the air. The height of your front foot. The next way you can add some power and speed into your foot is by pushing your back foot backwards, which brings the nose of the board to your foot faster. The closing speed between those two is going to increase the speed of the flick. We obviously want to land in the middle zone where the board can stay under us and still flip, but this is something you can play with. Now that you have all three pieces of the kickflip together, we can start putting them together in different ways. You can jump more, lift your front foot up more, and kick your back foot backwards, and plant your big toe against the nose. That gives us a higher, nice feeling kickflip. You can also just push your foot backwards, not lift your front foot up very much, and do a softer flip. The one thing that beginners really don't understand is that there are 1 million ways to do one trick. So don't get stuck in the idea that kickflips are all from this position. Continue to play with these 3 important pieces and see where it takes you.